Hey guys, Nathan here from RunDNA and welcome back to our second video on our YouTube channel. Today we're going to be discussing the brand new update to the Brooks Adrenaline 24 and what's changed over the last year's version. This has been a real staple shoe in the Brooks lineup for a number of years. It's been around for a long time, it's stayed pretty consistent over that time frame, but with the new version they've made some actually noticeable updates across all parts of the shoe, which really makes it a bit more modern in sort of where it sits in the 2024 range of shoes. So let's get stuck in. We're going to speak about the upper, midsole and outsole, and then whether it's a shoe that you could add into your rotation. So who is this shoe for? The Adrenaline 24 is still speaking to the same type of runner. It's sort of that workhorse daily trainer that does have that touch of guidance with the guide rail system. So if you've liked previous Adrenalines all the way back to sort of the 2021, you're still going to feel at home with the 24 with the key updates. We've found this really versatile for a lot of people, a lot of runners, and also a lot of walkers as well, that wanting a little bit more of a durable, more traditional feel underfoot. And it also goes quite well into the gym sort of setting as well. We're seeing a lot of shoes go to really high stack height underneath the foot, which do lose their versatility going into that sort of walking and gym sort of setting. So this one still sort of ticks that box for a lot of people as well. Let's get stuck into some of the key updates. We'll start off with the upper. All right, jumping up to the upper of the Adrenaline 24, and it looks like an overall similar sort of shape and structure to the Adrenaline 23, but they've definitely opened up the forefoot with the air mesh through here, so it should be a bit more breathable. It's also noticeable how they've opened up the mesh through the midfoot as well, so you'll get a little bit more breathability across the whole shoe for your longer runs, which is going to be really good, especially in the Australian climate here. In terms of padding, like it's a similar sort of amount of padding around the heel collar as previous Adrenalines. So if you've really liked how it's fit around the back of the shoe, I think you're gonna have no issues here with the 24. Similar sort of padding as well through the tongue. There's no gusseted tongue through this shoe, which is a bit of a letdown from my point of view, but they have looped little loops through the tongue here. So it does act to sort of hold the tongue across the top of the foot there nicely. Brooks are also offering this shoe in all four widths for men's and women, so the narrow fit and also the wide and extra wide, and that's always been a really positive thing about this shoe. It does fit a lot of feet really well, so good to see that Brooks is still continuing with that width commitment across men's and women's, so it should be really nice fit wise for a lot of runners out there. All right, jumping down to underneath the shoe, the outsole, and quite a big change here. Brooks are using their Road Tack outsole, which is their new material that we've seen in a lot of their shoes recently. The Glycerin has received it, and also the Ghost. So the Adrenaline now gets that material on the outsole. It's got more coverage than the last Adrenaline, but they have reduced the thickness, so it's 1 mil thinner. So there's a little bit less outsole underneath, but I do think it complements the midsole really well, which we'll get talking about in a sec. They've also filled in some of the space through the forefoot as well. So where there was some more obvious flex screws with the last Adrenaline, they have sort of filled this in. So it does also add a little bit of extra stiffness, but still very much that traditional sort of forefoot feeling shoe with this outsole execution. So I still think this is going to be really nice and durable as well. Like the Brooks Adrenaline, it's always been a super durable shoe for a lot of runners and walkers. And I still think with the change here, you're still going to get plenty of life out of this shoe, which is a really good update. There's 4 key changes in the midsole of the Adrenaline 24. So we're seeing DNA Loft version 3 through the whole length of the shoe, which is their nitrogen injected foam. Underneath we've got a wider base, so we've got a broader platform, and especially through the midfoot area there, it's a little bit wider, which is a nice change as well, because we are seeing 1 mil more stack across this whole shoe. So it still creates stability, given that we've gone up a little bit higher off the ground. And then the 4th change is these sidewalls. This is still Brooks's guide rail system, so it's a really unintrusive support system. It kind of comes into play when you need it on the medial side and lateral side. And what we've also noticed that they've smoothed it out as well. It's not as sharp, I guess, and as aggressive. So if you've struggled with sidewalls that sort of come up into your arch a little bit, you're not really going to have that issue here. Same sort of thing with that lateral side. So it creates a smoother ride underfoot, which is a really nice complement to the midsole setup. All right, when I first put my foot inside the Adrenaline 24, straight away first feel is it definitely is softer underfoot, which for someone like me, I do appreciate a softer feel, which is nice. Still very similar weight. I think there's a couple grams difference between the 24 and the 23, so there's really nothing from a weight point of view difference between the two. It's still operating on that 12 mil drop, which is on the higher side, and it's one of the shoes that's sort of still in the marketplace on that 12 mil drop. We're seeing some shoes getting updated for next year are going to go a bit lower, so that is a point of difference with this shoe. In terms of similar shoes, I think the most comparable option in the market would be your Asics GT 2000. That's sort of using that similar sort of wide platform to give you the stability, and it's also relatively comparable in terms of softness underfoot as well. 860 from New Balance is probably another one we'd also throw in there in that sort of stability category of shoe as well. We are seeing shoes sort of change the way they're doing stability over the number of years, so it'd be interesting to see what Brooks do with this shoe going forward. But it's definitely something that if you've enjoyed the 23 and previous ones, you're still going to feel right at home with the 24. There you go guys, there's my take on the Brooks Adrenaline GTS 24. Now a quick summary, we've got a brand new upper up top that's more breathable. Underneath you've got a little bit more cushioning underfoot with the new change to the midsole. Still nice and stable, wide platform, wider through the midfoot than last year's version. And we're still using the guide rails through either side of the shoe, medial and lateral. So if you've really liked previous Adrenalines all the way back to really version 20, you're still going to really like what the updates and what's on offer here with the 24. If you've got any questions about this shoe, feel free to comment down below. And if there's anything that you'd like to see us review, let us know. Feel free to give this video a like and subscribe if you'd like to see more YouTube videos like this. And in the meantime, enjoy your running.